This week, we're going to highlight historical price trends for November soybean futures. Then we're going to turn our attention to harvest progress and weather trends here in the U.S. And we're going to wrap things up with planting progress and weather trends in Brazil. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved into the last 10 days of October here, and we're in the midst of the final stages of soybean harvest in the U.S. Before we get to that, however, let's take a look at the history of the price trends of November soybean futures. Now, November beans, as we tape here on Tuesday, trading near $10.30 a bushel, so we've had a bit of a bounce. We've highlighted the October crop insurance period there for the month of October again, and what we want to emphasize is that we encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your marketing strategies in place for your 2025 bean production by the end of the month. Let's shift gears now and focus on harvest progress here in the U.S. Now, of course, with the government shutdown, we're not getting harvest progress estimates for 2025 here, but we can forecast what the progress has been based on historical trends. On average, U.S. soybeans harvested increased approximately 16% between October 19th and November 2nd. So if we're looking at soybean harvest at about 70-71% now, over the next 2 weeks, we could be approaching 85 to 90% by those first few days of November. Of course, harvest progress is directly tied to the weather. Let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. Starting out here looking at a divergent weather trend. Across the Mid-South, the Delta region is going to be quite wet over the next week. As we move further north, however, across Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, it's going to be just light showers here toward the end of the week. Now, next week, it looks like it's going to be wetter. How can we determine that? Because over the next 2 weeks, you can see a lot of the Midwest is going to be near normal. So that means we may not get much more moisture this week, but next week could be wetter. Now let's take a look at temperatures. Divergent temperature trends here. In the West, very warm, warmer than normal. As you move eastward, however, it looks like it's going to be normal. And notice in the eastern Corn Belt, it's going to be a bit cool moving into those last few days of October. Let's shift gears now and focus on planting progress in Brazil. Let's take a look at where that soybean production is produced in Brazil. Now we're looking here at soybean planting in Brazil concludes north to south. It's begun already in Mato Grosso in the north and will conclude in Rio Grande do Sul in the south. Looking at planting progress now, Mato Grosso, as you can see, is about 40% done. Now that's a bit behind the 5-year average of 49%. Initial planting pace has been slow due to dry weather, but they are starting to see some more rain here of late. Let's take a look at now the forecast for the next 2 weeks. You can see forecast for the next 2 weeks is still a bit dry up in Mato Grosso, but it is normal as you move further south. So we'll see how that proceeds here and will be more critical moving into the month of November. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with our risk management consultants who'll be happy with you at your convenience. And remember, we update every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.